Most people never build a real emergency fund because they believe a big lie. I need a high income to save money. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, watching your bank account drop near zero every single month, it feels almost insulting when financial gurus tell you to save 6 months of expenses. Here is the truth. Building an emergency fund isn't about income, it's about foundation. Today, we are stripping away the complex strategies and focusing on the quiet, boring money habits that actually work. Section 1. Why you feel broke even when you have money. Have you ever noticed that no matter how much extra cash comes in, a tax refund, a small bonus, or overtime pay, it seems to vanish into thin air? That happens because without a dedicated buffer, every unexpected life event becomes an instant emergency. A flat tire isn't just an inconvenience, it's a crisis. A surprise medical bill isn't just paperwork, it's high-interest debt waiting to happen. When you don't have an emergency fund, you spend every month playing defense. You feel broke because your money has no boundary protecting it from the chaotic realities of life. Section 2. The real purpose of an emergency fund. Let me repeat this because it is vital. An emergency fund is not an investment. It is not meant to make you rich. Its sole purpose is to keep you safe. In personal finance, we often get blinded by interest rates, market gains, and high yields. But your emergency fund is financial armor. It sits between you and life's sudden shocks, so you never have to swipe a 24% interest credit card or take out a predatory loan just to survive the week. Peace of mind has a 100% return on investment. Section 3. The $1,000 rule and why it comes first. Do not worry about saving 6 months of expenses right now. That target is too distant when you're starting out. Your immediate milestone is $1,000. Why $1,000? Because $1,000 handles 80% of life's everyday minor emergencies. It pays for the urgent car repair, the plumbing leak, or the temporary reduction in work hours. When you hit $1,000, something psychological shifts. You prove to yourself that you are no longer living on the edge. Section 4. How to automate your savings so it survives. If saving depends on willpower at the end of the month, you will fail. Willpower runs out. Automation never does. Set up an automatic recurring transfer of $25 or $50 on the exact day your paycheck hits your checking account. Pay your emergency fund before you pay rent, buy groceries, or pay bills. When savings happen automatically in the background, your brain adapts to living on the rest without feeling deprived. Section 5. Where to keep your emergency fund and where not to. Where you store this money matters just as much as saving it. Do not keep it in your primary checking account. You will accidentally spend it. Do not invest it in stocks or crypto. You cannot afford market volatility when an emergency strikes. Keep your emergency fund in a separate high-yield savings account, HYSA, at a completely different bank. This keeps it safe, liquid, earning interest, and just hard enough to access that impulse buys are prevented. Section 6. The boring plan that actually works. Wealth isn't built through overnight miracles. It is built through boring consistency. Audit your last 30 days of spending. Cut one unused subscription, meal prep twice a week, sell 2 items cluttering your closet, and deposit that money straight into your emergency fund. Once you reach $1,000, keep the momentum going. You have built a shield. Now, keep building your financial freedom. Section 7. The silent wealth killer, social pressure. Let's talk about a silent drain on your cash flow that most financial gurus ignore. When you live deeply rooted in your own community, there is a constant, unspoken pressure to keep up appearances among peers, friends, and relatives. Whether it is pitching in for elaborate gifts, attending expensive social gatherings, or dining out just because everyone else is, These social obligations quietly eat away at your foundation. It is beautiful to be generous with your community, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. If contributing to a social event puts you into a deficit for the month, you are projecting an illusion of wealth, not building actual wealth. Protecting your cash flow means learning to quietly say no, or not right now. True financial stability requires you to prioritize your household's safety net over temporary social approval. Section 8. Balancing debt and the emergency fund. A question I get all the time is, Alex, what if I already have credit card debt or personal loans? Should I pay those off first or save the $1,000? Here is the mathematical reality of cash flow. If you aggressively throw every spare dollar at your debt, but leave yourself with zero savings, what happens when an unexpected expense hits next month? You have to reach right back for that credit card. You end up trapped in a cycle of paying off debt and creating new debt. You must build the $1,000 shield first. Pay only the minimums on your existing debts, just long enough to lock that $1,000 away in your high-yield savings account. Once that foundation is poured, then and only then do you redirect your extra cash flow to aggressively attack your high-interest debt. Section 9. Embracing the unglamorous reality of wealth. We are fed a constant stream of overnight success stories and high-risk gambles. But real, sustainable wealth is incredibly unglamorous. It is built on boring businesses, predictable cash flow, and quiet, steady habits that you repeat month after month, year after year. Your emergency fund is the ultimate unglamorous asset. It does not produce massive yields. It will never make you a millionaire on its own. But it ensures that a single bad day does not wipe out years of your hard work. Conclusion: your next move. Take a look at your budget today. Find $25. Automate it. Do not wait for a raise to start saving, because if you cannot manage the cash flow you have right now, a higher income will only lead to higher expenses. Start where you are, with what you have. What is the one unexpected bill that has knocked you off track in the past? Let's talk about it. Drop it in the comments below. Subscribe to Alex Explains Cash Flow, and let's continue tracking our wealth in ink, not illusions. I will see you in the next video.